The air inside the samurai encampment was heavy with anticipation, as if the very atmosphere itself held its breath in reverence. The samurai, clad in their traditional armor, moved with a graceful yet purposeful stride. The sound of steel-meeting stone pierced the silence as they sharpened their blades, each stroke a symbol of their unwavering resolve. In the dimly lit corners of the camp, small candles flickered, casting elongated shadows on the walls. It was in these corners that final notes were carefully penned. Heartfelt words etched onto parchment, meant to be read by loved ones left behind. The ink flowed freely, capturing a mix of emotions. Love, regret, and the unwavering commitment to fulfill their compelled duty. As the preparations continued, the elders of the clan observed from a distance, their eyes filled with a mixture of pride and sorrow. They knew that this act, though shrouded in tragedy, was a testament to the samurai's unyielding loyalty and devotion to their code of honor. Yet, deep within their hearts, a flicker of doubt lingered, as if questioning the necessity of such an extreme act. Just as the tension reached its peak, the sound of horses' hooves echoed through the encampment. The French visitors, unaware of the impending somber proceedings, arrived as honored guests. Their presence was intended to strengthen the bonds between the two nations, yet little did they know that they were about to witness a spectacle that would forever leave an indelible mark on their memories. The samurai, their faces impassive masks of determination, greeted the French with polite bows and reserved nods. The clash of cultures was palpable as the French visitors, dressed in their vibrant attire, stood in stark contrast to the disciplined and stoic samurai. It was a meeting of two worlds, each with its own set of customs and beliefs. As the samurai and the French visitors exchanged formal pleasantries, a sense of unease hung in the air. The samurai, bound by their duty and honor, knew that the time for the sacred ritual was drawing near. They glanced at one another with solemn eyes, silently acknowledging the weight of their impending actions. Meanwhile, the French guests, oblivious to the gravity of the situation, engaged in light conversation, their laughter mingling with the gentle rustling of the wind. They admired the craftsmanship of the samurai armor, unaware that these magnificent suits of steel were not mere adornments, but symbols of a way of life, steeped in tradition and sacrifice. The appointed hour approached, and a hush fell over the encampment. "We gather here today to carry out an act of utmost honor and sacrifice," the elder began, his voice tinged with a somber reverence. "Our samurai brethren have committed grave offenses that have brought dishonor upon our people. It is through the ritual of seppuku that they seek redemption, offering their lives as a sincere apology." The French guests, their expressions shifting from curiosity to confusion, exchanged glances, struggling to comprehend the weight of the words spoken. The clash of cultures became more apparent as the translator hurriedly relayed the message, attempting to convey the depth of the samurai's commitment and the solemnity of their act. With a grave nod, the elder signaled for the commencement of the ritual. The samurai, their faces a mask of stoicism, stepped forward one by one, their ceremonial robes billowing in the wind. Each samurai knelt upon a mat, their trusted katana laid before them, gleaming in the pale light. The air grew thick with tension as the first samurai, his resolve unyielding, grasped the hilt of his blade. The silence was broken only by the sound of his breath, steady and measured, as he prepared to carry out the final act of atonement. With a swift motion, he brought the blade across his abdomen, his face contorted in pain, yet his spirit unwavering. The French guests, their eyes widening in disbelief and horror, could hardly comprehend the sight before them. The clash of cultures reached its climax as the samurai's commitment to duty collided with the French sense of compassion and the value placed on preserving life. One by one, the samurai carried out their acts of seppuku, their resolve unshaken. The French guests, their initial shock giving way to a mix of disbelief and concern, exchanged frantic whispers. Some among them, unable to bear witness to the gruesome scene unfolding before their eyes, turned away, their faces pale and their hands trembling. In the midst of the solemn tragedy, a voice of reason emerged. A French officer, his face etched with a mixture of sympathy and disbelief, stepped forward and pleaded for the samurai to halt their actions. The translator, his voice trembling, relayed the officer's words to the clan elder. The clan elder, his eyes filled with a mixture of understanding and respect, listened to the translator's hurried words. The message was conveyed, and a moment of silence hung in the air as the samurai paused, their blades poised in midair, their resolve momentarily faltering. The elder, his voice calm yet tinged with sorrow, addressed the samurai. Our honored guests, the French, have intervened out of shock and compassion. They ask us to reconsider this path of sacrifice. It is a moment that calls for reflection and understanding. The samurai, their faces a canvas of conflicting emotions, exchanged glances. Some were stunned, relief washing over them like a gentle wave, grateful for the unexpected reprieve from the weight of their duty. Others, however, felt a sense of resentment, their commitment to honor and tradition threatened by this imposition of mercy. The French officer, his words translated with urgency, attempted to bridge the gap between the two cultures. "We honor your commitment to honor and duty," he implored. "But there are other ways to seek redemption, to make amends. We understand the depth of your sacrifice, and we offer our compassion and understanding." The samurai, their spirits burdened by the weight of tradition, struggled to reconcile their code of honor with this unforeseen turn of events. Some reluctantly set down their blades, their hands trembling with a mixture of relief and conflicted emotions. Others, their resolve unyielding, chose to continue their path, even in the face of intervention. In the ensuing moments, a fragile understanding began to emerge, like a bridge spanning the cultural divide. The samurai, their actions born out of a deep-rooted sense of duty, and the French, their intervention born out of compassion, found themselves at the crossroads of tradition and empathy. As the final samurai laid down his blade, the encampment fell into a poignant silence. The clash of cultures had left an indelible mark on both sides, a reminder of the complexities of honor, duty, and compassion. The incident in Japan, where the seppuku ritual was halted by the French, would forever be etched in the annals of history, a testament to the power of cultural understanding and the human costs of rigid tradition.